and welcome to AcquaTalks, sponsored by the Estates at Aquilina. My name is Alexandra Wensley, and while we wait a few moments for more people to log in, I would like to begin our presentation with a quote. This is by Patrick Riley, and he used to say, in the 21st century, knowledge and know-how are the keys to success. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Personal growth and development are all important, and we need to continue expanding our skills and skill sets. Doesn't matter how old we are, learning is a never-ending process for all of us. So that's why we're so happy to bring you every week AcquaTalks. It's our educational series for the broker community, and we're so happy to see so many of you back. The Estates at Aquilina, this is something that we like to offer for our brokers to thank them for everything they do for us throughout the year. So now that I see more of you have joined, we'll begin. We have another exciting talk for today. Our guest previously was on AcquaTalks about a year and a half ago. So we're happy to have her join us again, but this time virtually. Today's talk, you're here to learn all about the MLS matrix. You'll gain insight on how to better use the search tool, hot sheets, and much more. Our speaker has assisted in the recruiting, retention, and training of over 500 real estate brokers and agents from some of the biggest brokerage firms in Miami. She's taught MLS training for more than 5 years in a group setting as well as a one-on-one basis, and she's helped agents to double their production, which is so impressive. She has really become the go-to for agents and brokers when it comes to knowledge, mind-setting, strategies, and network. So please help me. I'm delighted to introduce to you today, Andrina Monserrate.
Good morning, Alexandra. How are you?
Good. How are you, Andrina?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I am, as always, so humbled to be here at Aquilina.
We love having you, and you look so good with the backdrop of our red umbrellas, our signature color.
I wish I was there. I wish this was not, via Zoom. But again, I'm so humbled. It's an amazing opportunity to do this for you guys.
Thank you so much. So before you begin, I just want to let everyone know we'll have a recorded version of this AcquaTalks. It'll be made available on our Instagram and Facebook pages for the Estates at Aquilina. I will also join you at the end to do a Q&A with Andrina. So please, during her talk, you can add your questions to the chat or the Q&A, whichever you prefer, and then we'll address them at the end. So I'll leave this over to you, Andrina.
Beautiful, thank you. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen because I want to go straight into this presentation and training. Give me 1 second. All right, so here we are on the MLS. I've already logged in. I have, gone from my gateway into MLS Matrix, right? For the sake of this training, I am gonna go ahead and touch up on searches, tips, tricks, and customization of your searches. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go into how to break down the Miami-Dade folio for single family farming, and then go into some of the new buttons that the association has added for your add and edits. And then for the end, I'm gonna go ahead and touch up on hot sheets, which for me, it is the most important part of your MLS if you're gonna be farming and becoming a specialist of an area. So I'm gonna go ahead and go straight into our searches. So RE1s and RE2s are obviously your single families. RINs are your residential income, kind of like your duplex, your triplex. RLDs are your residential lands, both stocks. RNTs are your rentals. CODs and COM and BUS are more of a commercial. And the reason why I say all of these acronyms is because I like getting to cross property. If you don't know what cross property is, cross property allows you to do a search for both sale and rental, residential and commercial with one button. That way, if you're working with an investor who wants to purchase a property that he's going to end up renting it out, you don't have to go through RE1s and RNTs. You can just go straight to cross property, and that will get you both results, the for sales and the rents. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on quick, and then your search criteria is going to look exactly like it would on your RE1s and your RNTs. I'm gonna go ahead and go through quick little tips. So if you guys want a property that is 200,000 or more, you're gonna do 200 plus. If you wanna do 500,000 and less, 500 minus. If you want a property that is between 500 and 900, you're gonna do the dash in the middle. If you have a very quirky client that wants, you know, only even numbers, 200, 400, 600, you separate them by commas. Let's say you have a client who loves Zillow. I can see all of you guys rolling your eyes at the whole Zillow comment, right? But they're gonna come back to you and they're gonna give you a few MLS numbers, and the way you separate that, you don't have to go back and forth into the system finding each MLS. You can go A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma, and so forth. So you separate those by commas. This also works for total number of bedrooms, full baths, half baths, garage spaces, total square foot built. If they want between 1,000 square feet to 5,000 square feet, you separate by dash. If they want numbers, 1,000, 3,000, separate those by commas. This also works for your build. And if you have your broker codes that you want to see everything that's being listed by a certain broker, you can go ahead and enter their broker codes there. If there's more than one office, you separate it by comma. If you have the address of certain buildings, you can actually, if there's a complex of buildings, let's say we're in Key Biscayne and they have Key Colony has 4 different buildings, you can actually add in here up to 10 addresses. For the sake of this training, I'm gonna go ahead and click on 201 Crandon Boulevard. And let's say you want to see everything that is on a certain line of the building. So let's say that your client only wants the 01 line, right? You're gonna go ahead and click on asterisk 01. That way it's going to show you every single unit that ends in 01. So basically what the asterisk is telling the system is show me everything that comes before 01, right? All right. Area numbers. Area numbers are very important. They're actually part of your folio numbers for Miami-Dade County. If you're an agent that likes going by your area numbers, and I'm gonna go ahead and break down the folio number in a little bit in the middle of this class, but if you're somebody that likes your area numbers, you guys can always go into help, second to last, area maps. You guys are gonna go to Miami-Dade, and this is the map of Miami-Dade broken down in areas, okay? So if you're somebody who is working in the Brickell area, maybe your area is area 41. Or again, if we're, you know, in the Key Biscayne area, they're 42,52. Now, you guys can go through your actives. Maybe you only want to see everything that's come out into the MLS in the last 7 days. In the last week, you can do 07. It will show you everything that's come out in the 7 days. You can actually go through the calendar and pick everything the same way as well. Let's say you want to see everything that's been in the last 6 months, 0 to 180, or in the last year. The same way you can do, let's see everything that's happened in the last 21 to 14 days. Same thing. So you separate it by dash with the number of days on the market. Okay, zip code, separate them by commas. Let's say that you are somebody who is looking for specific keywords in your remarks. You're going to click add an additional field and you're going to go into remarks. You're gonna add that field. Let's say you're looking for the word luxury. You're gonna go ahead and put the asterisk before and the asterisk after. That way you're telling the system that I want to see everything that's come before and after the word luxury. So if they've used it in a sentence, sort of like the estates of Aquilina, one of the most luxury buildings, you know, you'll be able to catch into that word into the remarks. You can also do this in broker remarks and internet remarks as well. For the sake of this training, I'm going to go ahead and go with 201 Crandon. Okay, and let's see everything that's active there. You are able to, let's say you obviously know which building this is, right? So you don't need the subdivision or complex. You're able to go ahead and remove or insert columns. In this case, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this column. You click apply and the column is gone. We did everything that's active, so we don't need the sales price. And we're gonna go ahead and remove that. But maybe for you, it is very, very important that you do see the listing agent's name, insert column, because you wanna see who's working this building. You wanna see who the listing agents inside this building is. And there you go. You're also able to add their phone numbers or any other information. Let's say you didn't have the year build and that would be important to you. You would be able to, you know, add in that column here as well. You're also able to move and switch, drag and drop any single column that you'd like, okay? Now, let's say this is the view that you would always want to see your search display to be seen. You're gonna go ahead and go into this little wheel that's over here on the top, that settings wheel, and that first link is going to help you set up this as your default. Anytime you come into cross-property quick search, this is the way that you'll always see it. But now let's say that you always want to see this view in any other of the searches that you do, you are more than welcome to come into this little one that looks like a notepad with a pencil and give it a name. Right? And then I'm going to go ahead and save as a copy. And anytime that I want to go ahead and see it in this view, I'm going to be able to go into training to Aquilina and be able to view this in any type of search I want. So let's say if I was to go into RE1s, RE2s. And I want to see everything that's active. And I want the view that I just had. I will just go into this little display button and it will show me the display to see my columns in the same manner. Okay, let's say that I have gone over every single one of these listings and I'm very interested in these four that I have picked right here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and you have several buttons at the bottom. One is called refine. And I'm gonna go ahead and click on narrow. And it's gonna narrow it down. That way I don't see that huge list of all those listings that I've already gone through, okay? You can also, you know, if you did want the big list and you just wanted to get rid of these four, you're able to go ahead and click on discard. And then you're able to sort them based on what fields you want to assort them by, okay? Now, let's say that you really, really like these four listings, but you're not ready to send it to your client yet. You have to leave your house or you have to leave the office and you don't want to do the search all over again next time you come on the MLS. But this is something that you're working with, but you're not ready to send your clients and you're not really sure what you want to do with these four listings just yet. So you have a button down here that's called carts and you're able to add them to your cart, right? So you can either do new listing cards or you have a way over here. Oh, I just added it to the cart. There is a way, I'm guessing, new cart. You're able to give it a cart name. And if you want, you can actually pick which contact or which client these are for. Again, this does not send it to your clients. This does not email it to them. This is for you, okay? So once you've added them into your cart, you're able to go home and your view might be different than yours because the MLS is entirely customizable, right? But somewhere on your home page, you have a box that's called My Carts. And if you gave it a name, it's obviously gonna be under that name. And if you did it, it might be on your new listing cards. And that's where you're gonna go ahead and find them. From here, you're able, again, to either pick all of them, send this to your clients, or you're able to do the 3 different types of searches. You can save it as a new saved search. So you're going to give that search a name. And if you want to put it under your contact, you can put it there. Again, this does not send it to your clients. This does not send an email. This is just for you for reference. And this is how you save a new saved search. If you go into My Matrix, Save Searches, that's where you're going to be able to find all the searches that you guys have available. The next way to save a search is through a new auto email. This is something that every time the MLS has a new listing with this exact same criteria, this is going to automatically email it to your clients, right? So over here, you do have to give it a contact name. You have to pick who to send it to. You have to give it a subject to 1 Crandon, which is, the building that we were searching. This should be all of your information. Over here, this is one of my favorite buttons, and I do like teaching the new auto save searches this way, just for this button that's called Enable Concierge Mode, right? So Concierge Mode is pretty much telling the system, before you send out any emails to my client, please notify me so that I can accept or reject these listings from being seen by this client. Okay, and you would be notified over here on this top blue bar. A yellow bar comes up and it will say you have new listings to approve or reject. If you do not enable concierge mode, then you are able to tell the system, hey, send out these emails as soon as possible, or send them out daily, or you can pick which days and which times you'd like for the system to send them out by, right? Or you can go ahead and send them monthly. You guys know your client much better than the MLS. So the MLS will actually ask you, hey, when is the best time to reach out to this client? And this is how you do a new auto email. Last but not least is the new speed bar shortcut. And this speed bar shortcut, this is your speed bar. And if you notice, it actually works a lot with codes created by the MLS. I'm not gonna go through the codes because there is a whole bunch of them and they're very tedious. But if you wanted to save this search and you don't wanna put all these codes that they require, you can go into new speed bar shortcut and you can give it a name. It will always have that dash in front of the name that you give it. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. And I'm gonna go home. And the next time you wanna go ahead and see this results that you had looked up, you can just put in the name there and your results will pop out. Okay, let's say that you want to change the criteria, you would be able to go right back into the criteria. Okay, now I did wanna go through all of those search engines to be able to get us to the last part of our training, which would be hot sheets. Okay, but for the sake of this training, that is more or less a quick way with tips and tricks on how to do your searches, okay, and how to save them, and the 3 ways to save them, as well as what your carts mean and what the cart is all about. Okay. Now, I want to go ahead and go into add and edit. Again, I'm not adding a listing and I'm not editing a listing that I have, okay? I just want to do a few things with the add edit. So if you are following me with your computers, please do not follow me for this section. I'm going to go ahead and add in Miami-Dade. Sorry about that. In Miami-Dade, I'm going to go ahead and enter an address that I like to use for this training. And I want you guys to concentrate on this folio number. And I like to do this a lot for single family farming, okay? But this is how you break down the Miami-Dade folio number in regards to your searches. And what does the folio number mean? So if you concentrate on this folio number, I want you to see that this first number is your municipal code, 30. The second set of numbers is your township, and it is always, always, always the area number. So every time you're gonna add a new listing and you don't know what your area number is, it is always in Miami-Dade County, the second set of numbers in your folio. The third set of numbers is your section. The fourth is your municipal code. And last but not least, the last set of numbers is your parcel. What does this mean? So this right here, your parcel number is the actual location of the property. That is your lot, that is your home, right? Your subdivision is your complex. Your section is everything that surrounds that complex, and your township is your area. So if we were to go ahead and have a client that is searching for a property inside this area, all you would need is one folio number from that complex, and you would enter it here under folio. I obviously know that this property is not for sale. So as you can see, there's 0 matches, but I already taught you about asterisks. So if I was to take out the parcel number and enter the asterisks, this is telling me that there are 0 matches inside that neighborhood that are for sale. But around that neighborhood, there's 7 properties for sale. And this is how you break down the Miami-Dade folio for single family house farming. So if you were to look for a specific property inside a neighborhood and there's nothing in that neighborhood, you can grab that folio and be able to use it to search for things that surround that neighborhood. Maybe you have a client that really wants a property for a certain school. Just grab a folio that's around that school and break it down this way. If we were to take out this set of numbers, then it shows you your area, and that's a broader search. Because if I taught you at the very beginning, your area map is big blocks, which obviously, as you can see, it will give you between 400, 500, 600, and more results each time. So the best way to break it down is with your asterisk over here. And as you notice, I only did this with one folio number. All right. I also want to show you guys really quick, even though I already taught you guys how to break down the Miami-Dade folio. The Miami board has added a brand new button into your listings. And if you guys have listings, you guys are able to go back and you have a brand new button over here that's called OK to advertise. In this OK to advertise, it's not that you're going to be able to just write yes and everybody that has access to this listing is going to be able to advertise this listing, right? It has to be with your broker approval. So even if you press yes and you have full access to your MLS, your broker still has to approve if they want this listing to be advertised by outside agents outside of the brokerage. But that's a brand new button that they have created. This began through the pandemic. So as soon as it was very hard to go out, they went ahead and added this button for you guys. So take advantage of it. A lot of them right now show as blank, but you're able to go back into your activated listings and change this if your broker allows you to have outside agents advertising your listings. Okay. I want to go ahead, and this is not just my favorite part. I think this is one of the most important parts of your MLS that I feel that agents are not entirely taking advantage of. And that is your hot sheets, okay? Again, your box in your home page might be in an entirely different location than where mine is located, okay? My hot sheets, in this case, are here, but I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop them here on the top for everybody to see. And if you've never set up your hot sheets on your MLS, I want you guys to go ahead and click on customize. And I want you guys to delete every single one of the hot sheets that the board has given you has a default setting for them. And the reason why I want you guys to delete it is because those are not your farming areas. That is not the area that you're actually working with. So I want you guys to go ahead one by one and delete every single one of these that might have been set up. Obviously, I am using somebody else's MLS who has set up their hot sheet, so I'm not going to touch theirs. But I'm going to go ahead and put add and then create another hot sheet. You're able to pick what type of hot sheet you want to use. So this is, again, the same as a search criteria. for the sake of this, I do want to go ahead and click on cross property. And the reason why I want to go ahead and pick cross property is because I want to be the specialist of a certain farming area. And to be the specialist of an area, I must know everything that is for sale, for rent, any movements of price that are going up or down. And I need to be very well knowledgeable about this area that I'm going to be farming. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. Now, as we know, Aqualina is under construction. So you cannot really farm in what's going on in this building, but I am going to name it Aqualina for the sake of this training. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to go into edit criteria. And on this side of the screen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select absolutely everything because I want to see everything that's incoming. I want to see everything that's new, that's back on the market, price decreases, increases. I want to see what's canceled, expired, withdrawn. I want to see it all, okay? I want to be able to go into Starbucks and be able to have a conversation with random strangers. So if I go and I am in the Starbucks of this area and a stranger says to me, you know, for the sake of this training, let's say I'm in Brickell and I'm at the Starbucks in Brickell, and I go ahead and I tell the clients at the Starbucks, hey, I am the realtor. I am the go-to for Brickell. I am the specialist of this area. And they come back to me and they say to me, okay, well, what's been going on at the plaza? And if I have to tell them, I'll be right back. Why don't you give me your information? I'm going to go to my office really quick and I'm going to send you an email with what's going on with Brickell. I just showed that client that I'm not the specialist of Brickell and I really don't know what's going on in that area, right? So that is where your hot sheets come into place. So if I would have been that realtor and I go ahead and click on 951 Brickell, which is the address for the plaza, and then I'm not going to add anything else. Okay, I'm just going to click on save. Now, let's say that I would have been at that Starbucks today. And this morning I wake up and I check my hot sheets before I leave my house. And over here, I say that I want to see what's going on at Aqualina, or in this case, the plaza, because that's the address that we used, right? In the last 7 days, what has been the movement? It is going to show me that in the last 7 days, 5 new listings came up, 2 had price decreases, 3 were canceled, 1 went from pending sale to closed sale, 1 became rented, 1 became temporarily off the market, and 1 became withdrawn. So if I would have been at that Starbucks, I would have been able to give this random client who doesn't know me, who I just said I was a specialist, current information of what has gone on in this one building in the last 7 days, okay? I think this is instrumental. You're actually able to do, I believe, up to 10 hot sheets. So if you're in a hot area like Sunny House, where Aqualina is, or even if you're in Brickell, you're able to do several buildings and you're able to really become the specialist of that farming area that you're doing. So this is not going to show you every single listing that the plaza may have. And this is not going to show you everything that's been canceled or everything that had a price change. This is going to break down and just show you what has happened in this building in the time frame that you're picking here. So that's what's happened in the last 7 days. But you can say in the last 3 days, today, in the last 24 hours, in this session that you've logged on into the MLS for, only show you the new. And the last button is you can customize it. So if you want to see the hot sheets of what's occurred in the last 30 days or in the last 6 months, you're able to do that as well. I will say that this changes realtors' life only because now they have a different vocabulary and language when they speak to their clients, okay? I want to go ahead and do one more hot sheet just to go over it really quick in case you guys didn't, miss something in between before we enter class. So we would go into customize. We would go ahead and click on add. Again, you guys can pick anything. I always go into cross property. And I am going to go ahead and give it a name. And then I'm going to go ahead and edit the criteria. I'm going to click on absolutely everything that's on this side. And all I'm going to do is add the address of that one building that I want to farm. So for the sake of this one training, I'm going to go ahead and click on 201 Cranton. If anybody here is from Key Biscayne, that is a Key Biscayne address. And I am not going to add in absolutely anything else. I'm just going to click on save. I'm going to click on done. And right here on my hot sheets, in the last 7 days, that is the movement that this building has had. So 2 have come on active, 1 had a price decrease, 1 became active with a contract, and 1 became withdrawn. And that is how you set up your hot sheets. And this concludes our Aqualina training. Alexandra?
Hello, Andrina.
Hello. I went through this fairly quickly today.
Well, it was such useful information. Thank you so much. The hot sheets. Wow, you really can be an expert in your area.
Thank you.
Yeah, very useful. So a lot of people have typed in before. Erica and Irene said what great information. People are putting some more notes in the chat. But we received a couple of questions prior to your talk. So I have some questions for you. This one came in from Marla.
Okay.
And she wants to know, what's the easiest way to share listings from MLS?
Okay, so this is a section on the MLS. All right. All right, so if you guys are still looking at my screen, correct?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So when we did a search, right? Again, I go straight to cross property just because it shows me everything, right? And let's say I am really working with this one 201 Crandon building, and I want to go ahead and share this one listing with somebody. The easiest way is to go ahead and send them an email, right? You guys can actually send the email to yourselves, and then every time you send something directly from the MLS to your client's actually going to receive an email with a link. So it's not like they're going to be getting a list of all these listings you're sending them. It's just one quick link. And if you go to my matrix and go down to my information, the very last tab that's there is called Portal Profile. And through that Portal Profile, you're going to be able to actually customize this section, right? And I really like showing you guys this before I show you where that link takes you to from that email, right? So every email that you've actually sent out directly from my MLS takes you into a portal, right? Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
For some reason, he hasn't sent out any the way that I needed him to. But if you guys, sorry about that. Even the teacher gets stuck sometimes, right? So if he would have sent out an email, you know, a direct email with certain listings, I don't know why it is done this way. But he should have, now I'm stuck, right? So there's a way in my matrix when you send out an email for you to be able to see exactly how your clients view it. For some reason, I guess he's only sent just a, you know, I don't know why it's not showing it. But there's a way in here, and I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to have to come back to Aqualina and explain this one. But there's a way for you guys to view how your clients are viewing it directly from your portal. So the reason why I go to my matrix and my information is because I want to make sure that every single agent here has gone ahead and entered their photo and their portal greeting and everything, because every time you send an email, it takes you with a link to your portal, and this is the information that your clients view. But that is the best way.
It seems so important to have a photo and put all your information in there.
Absolutely. I'm going to grab this agent. I'm going to grab him by the ears the minute I see him.
But yes. But with the MLS, it seems like you need like refresher courses, because it seems like it gets updated and changes.
Yes. especially especially during this time. I feel like the board has really taken the time these last 70 days. They've added, they've added an extra button here, they've added an extra thing over there. So it is very important to just keep up with all their changes. And they do announce them as soon as you come into the MLS, you'll have like a notification. But most agents just click on, I've read this. And then that new button is there and no one really like plays with it and knows.
Yeah. So Betty commented in the chat and she said she just wanted to know where exactly you can access the hot sheets.
Absolutely. So you're going to go into your home screen. And again, your home screen is very customizable. So it might not look like mine. It might be somewhere entirely different because maybe you've dragged and dropped without knowing, but it's in your home screen and it's called Hot Sheets. Let's say by any chance you clicked it out. Don't worry, it's still there. You should have somewhere on your MLS, on your home screen, a box that's called additional, and right under everything that you have clicked out, and you just drag and drop it right back to where you want it.
Okay. Yeah, it seems very user-friendly.
Very user-friendly.
Okay. So now this is from Yancy. She has two questions. The first one is there a way to create a CMA on the phone app?
The Go MLS app is an amazing tool, right? And the MLS is also an amazing tool. I'm a huge advocate for the MLS. With that said, every time I tell the agents to do a CMA, I prefer to go through IMAP or RPR. And I do believe that RPR has an app that the agents can use. And you guys can access it straight from your gateway. So you guys can play with your RPR buttons here straight from your gateway. And they do have an app, and so should IMAP. And I would go ahead and do the CMAs directly from there. If you do want it from the MLS, you have the Go MLS app, and it should also allow you to do your CMAs from the Go MLS app.
So do you think more people use it on their computers, or do they go to the app?
I think the app is still, I think that so many agents use the MLS to search of properties in a very detailed basis if they have that one client, especially a high-end client that's luxury, right? So I would hope and I would think that they're using that desktop more, and they go ahead and just use that app when they're on the go or on the run, maybe showing or needing a very quick info. But for the most part, I believe that they use it on a desktop.
Yeah.
Even
but I like your example. Yeah.
Yes.
I like the example you gave being in like a Starbucks again, when we're all at the coffee shop again. Yeah.
Don't we like being at Starbucks to begin with, right? You need to have the right knowledge and how to speak to not just people that have known you for years that have been working for you. You have to have the right communication, the right vocabulary, even with strangers. And if you're just telling the strangers, hey, I am the specialist of this area, you have to tell them, let me run to my office and get you that information. I'll get back to you. You just prove to that client that you're definitely not the specialist.
No, I agree with you. Knowledge is key. Like the quote I was saying in the beginning, you got to continue learning. So this is the second part of Yancy's question. She wants to know, are you able to share a listing with clients when the listing agent has not made the link shareable?
Yes, you would have to go into your MLS, look up that MLS number, or look up the address through your search. Like, we had, a regular search, or enter the MLS number or do a search, and you're able to, again, send out that email to yourself that will give you your own link without having to use anybody else's link, and be able to share your link with that client. Everything that's on the MLS has an IDX, right? IDX is what shares every single listing with outside sources. So if you have your own websites, you have an IDX set up. Realtors, Zillow, all those other pages have IDX set up. So that is the same way it's done. You're sharing your link with the IDX with that listing. So you don't have to wait for somebody to activate a link for you to be able to share it.
Great. Well, a couple more people just went in the chat just saying thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
It was so informative. Yeah, I think it's great. So do you think that agents use this daily, or how often do they use the MLS?
This is their Bible. I would hope that this is their Bible. This is where they should be coming, not just for their farming area. This is where they should come and, if they're cold calling or if they're prospecting, this should take them right back to the MLS and look up those properties that you're cold calling about and, being more in tune with your areas, your farming areas. This should be your Bible.
Bible. Yeah, that's what I figured. You're so knowledgeable about it. Let's see. So Gloria just wrote in, how do you connect your MLS to your webpage? That's a good question.
That is a very interesting question. So everybody has, okay, this is a very techy question that requires a web designer, right? But so by being a member of the board, you've actually paid, $900 for the year, right? And the board gives you a lot of different IDX options or providers. So if you have a website and you want to include that IDX in there, I am not a web designer, but a web designer is able to get either an embedded link or an HTML link, some sort of a link that goes into your website that matches the IDX. Now, when you are building your website, in order to put that IDX in, the IDX provider is going to ask for authorization from your broker, meaning, hey, you are an agent and your broker does allow IDX sharing on your website. So that is the only thing. You do need authorization from your broker, but by being a member of the board, you have access to all of these IDX vendors and providers to be able to put that link in.
Okay, great. And what's the best way for the brokers who are listening if they wanted to get in touch with you directly?
Okay, so that's a great question. So if they want to get in touch with me, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the chat part. My name is Andreina Monserrate. I have a website, which is andreinamonserrate.com.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
I am also entering my cell phone number. I am one of the crazy people that say that my phone is open from 7 in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, but I find myself answering agent questions at 9 o'clock at night, sometimes 10 o'clock, because, real estate never sleeps somehow. But that is my information. That's my name. That's my website. Everything that I have actually shown in this presentation today, I have broken down in very small sections, 3 to 5 minute long trainings. They're all on my website. They're all free. So if you wanted to go back and see how hot sheets are done, you're able to go and look up just hot sheets or market reports, or, if you breaking down the Miami-Dade folio, like I tell you, everything's on my website. Is entirely free. And those little tutorials are 3 to 5 minute long.
Okay. Well, Andreina, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
It's great having you again.
I'm humbled, by the way. I'm very humbled. Every time Aquilina calls me, I'm like, oh my God, Aquilina. So I'm humbled to be here.
Well, we can't wait to have you back. We'll have a coconut at Costa Grill and a nice lunch.
Oh, I hope soon.
Me too. Well, thank you again. We look forward to seeing everybody next week for another AcquaTalks next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.